broadcast, and here we are. We're on. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're watching this and whatever time zone you're in. What am I saying? Nobody's watching this yet. Usually a few people jump in. A little higher up in the frame. There we go. So yes, good morning, good evening. Thank you for joining me for another Sylvia Findings live stream presentation on this lovely July afternoon. I know that if you're watching this on YouTube years after the fact, why? But also, yeah, July. We're beginning in July. And there's going to be some information here that is not germane to anything. It's very dated. We're just, you can see this. Oh, see, we've got all the trunks happening here. We're just packing up for a show this coming weekend. July, what is today? Today's July 6th, something? Never remember the date. So yeah, so it's I'm recording this on Wednesday, and the show's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Kelowna, Okanagan Rockin' Mineral Club, I think. Oh god, I so really should pay more attention to the names of these shows. But anyway, we're going to be there this weekend, so I need to look it up in the socials. I'm sure there's something. Maybe Lise can link the club information in the comments here on Facebook, as we're doing this on Facebook Live right now. But I know why you're here. You're here because you saw a social media post about gold. You know, we've been expanding our gold selection, and we have like some very basic pendant settings, you know, ovals, rounds, things. They're all, I have an example of the, right? So just those, you know, those simple rabbit ear bail, simple basket settings. And we have those, like I said, in rounds, ovals, pairs, rectangles. Oh, something just occurred to me. And trilliants. And we have a couple of rings too that we have. I mean, you can see all those on the websites and sort of thing. But, you know, we're always expanding, always trying to add stuff, always trying to do more things. So we've got some interesting things, even something, I think this is like, for me, like the most interesting one. We've got this beautiful, this is one of our most, can I see that? Can I get that in focus? It's not going to focus because I'm in the thing. There we go. Focus on that. Anyway, you've seen it. That's probably one of our most popular sterling pendants. So we thought, as we're expanding the line, let's not just do the simple basket settings. Let's do a couple of, you know, more interesting, you know, things that are, you know, that you can look at the pendant instead of just, oh, that's a cool stone, you know, that happens to be in a pendant, as opposed to, you know, oh, very cool pendant with a very cute stone inside there. I know it just seems like semantics, but it does make a difference. And I wanted to highlight those things. There's a couple things that I'm really excited about. Earring posts, earring studs, you know, which we have lots of sterling ones, but we've never had gold ones up until now. And I mean, these are like brand new. Literally, they're still warm from the casting. Not really. That that was just a lie, but it sounded good. They're still warm. Okay, let me show the best way I think to do this is let me, I hope this doesn't screw up, because this screwed up last week when I tried to switch the view of the thing. Do I have anything else I want to talk about? Not really. You know, the world is falling apart around us, but we're here for happy things, right? We're not here to talk about how bad stuff is in the world right now. Yeah. Let me see if I can't get this to work. Nice. Okay. The first thing, right? So let me just show you. So these were the, you know, the very basic settings that we have now. And like I said, we've got those. You can see those all on the website. One thing though, we added, so the ovals that we had were just those simple, you know, basket ear settings. And we added some of these with, you know, that, like a fancy bail with a soldering thing. They're a little bit shallower. These are, they, you know, they have hybrid seats designed for cabochons or faceted stones. These, you know, the original ones, they're amazing for faceted stones, especially if they have like super deep pavilions, the way a lot of gemstone cutters like to cut their colored stones. But they don't really work that well for cabochons because the cabochon, all of the weight of the stone is above this seat here, so it's all in front. And when you put a cabochon in a setting something like this, you know, unless it's a real thin one, you know, if there's any kind of weight for it, it's going to hang forward, right? It's going to tilt on the necklace because all of the weight is above the center of gravity, which is, or on one side of the center of gravity, which is underneath the bail, right? Does that make sense? Anyway, so these are a little bit shallower, right? And, you know, they won't lean as much. I find them just, I don't know, a little more versatile. You can use them for a few more things than you could. And this kind of setting, we have this in a bunch of different sizes. I didn't pull them all out because I didn't want this to be hours and hours long. We've also got this, like probably our single most popular pearl veil setting, right? It's just a simple cup and peg with a very simple bail on there, right? If you're familiar with the silver one, is LJ 950, right? So, I mean, I know lots of, we have, you know, a couple of customers who love this in the silver, and they were just thrilled when they found out we were going to do them in gold. But anyway, neither here nor there. And here's another one. This is a glue-on bail, right? This is our probably our most popular glue-on bail, right? Very simple, elegant, but now you can do that with gold too. And this one, like I said, I don't know, I just love this. It's for a 10 by 12 millimeter stone. Gorgeous gold bail. Oh God. And the retail price on that is only $229. 14 karat gold, right? God, just anything you put in there would ultimately gain credibility. And then this is one that a lot of people ask for, right? That plain crown bezel, right? Setting. We've got two. We've got a 15 millimeter one and a 20 millimeter one, right? I don't think these are calibrated for any coins in particular, although, I don't know, it looks like a dime might fit in there. Maybe a quarter might fit in there. Maybe it's too big. I don't know. But these are the two sizes that we sell the most of in the sterling, the 15 and the 20 millimeters. And they're just fantastic for a nice low dome cabochon, right? You can push those bezels in or just glue something in there, right? As we talked about in the last video. Glue is a 4-letter word, but boy, it just does really, really well if you use the right kind of glue. And then we've got these. And these ones, you know, maybe just to get a bigger version of these, just so you can see. I have one. Just oval, you know, basket settings, right? With those premium gold things. These are, right, these gold catch. It has a nice wide pad, so no matter how heavy a stone you put in there, it won't you know, droop in your ear, right? Because the wide pad on the back gives it a little bit more support. So, I mean, this is really exciting that we have these. And we have these in sizes from 4 by 6 all the way up to, what is this? I think that's like 8 by 10 off the top of my head. Yeah, 8 by 10, right? I think 5 or 6 different sizes in between. Then we have the round versions of those, right? And, whoops, totally destroyed the display. Sorry, marble. And these, we have these in sizes everywhere, everything from 4mm all the way up to, what is this, 10mm, I think? Yeah, from 4mm all the way up to 10mm. Now, one thing that it occurred to me when we were making these that, did we think, I don't think we did one. And no, we have a 6mm and a 7mm, but we don't have a 6.5mm. And you might be saying, but Mark, what? Why 6.5? And you know, it's normally not an issue with the gold findings, because most people won't put, you know, a diamond that big in a sterling silver setting. They'll want to have a gold setting. But 6.5mm is about the diameter of a 1 carat diamond, right? So just because of the, and you can't say that really with any other gemstone, because most gemstones, they cut them with the pavilions really super deep or wide or stuff, that, you know, or sometimes they're not, sometimes they're very traditional, but usually they're cut with very deep or wide pavilions to enhance the color or increase the carat weight of the stone, so they could charge more money for the stones. But diamond are cut almost exclusively, very traditionally, with about a 41 to 43-ish degree pavilion angle. So, you know, because the pavilions are pretty stable in diamonds, you don't, like, if you cut a really, really deep or wide pavilion, the weight goes up of the pavilion. So a 1 carat, which is a function of weight, not a function of size or anything like that, right? A 1 carat might be smaller in diameter, but deeper, if that makes sense. Whereas traditional ones, traditionally cut diamonds, which most of them are, a 1 carat is about 6.5mm. So people always ask, oh, do you have a 6.5mm, you know, ring setting in the golds, you know, rings? And it took me a minute to figure out why people were asking for such a specific weird thing, but then it occurred to me, you know, yeah. The other thing that, just a pet peeve, just as an aside, as we're talking about these things, is that people ask me very often, oh, I have a setting, oh, I need a setting for a stone that's, you know, 3.6 carats. And it's like, that doesn't tell me actually anything besides how heavy the stone is, right? Because a carat, stone carats are not a function of anything, not a function of size, or a function of weight, right? So it's like saying, I need a setting for a stone that's 3 grams. You know, okay, but what is it shaped like? What does it look like? What is the pavilion? There's so much more information that we need. Anyway, neither here nor there. We also have a couple of sizes of this very famous, very setting. It's again one of our most popular earring posts, right? I'm just so excited to have all these earring posts. These are great, and we've got these in I think 8mm and an oval one that's 7x9mm, right? It's kind of the same thing. Yeah. And I'm going to pull this one out of the box because it's very cool. And another kind of bezel setting, crown bezel setting, right? So for cabochons, maybe amylites, I don't know, anything, any cabochon you can put in there. Just gorgeous. And that's 7x9. Oh no, that's 9x11. And the other one was 7x9. And then we've got another very popular earring. This is for an 8x10, another 8x10 oval, right, earring. You can see that, 14 karat gold. Again, we just took like some of our most popular sterling settings and decided which ones might be good, to do in sterling or in 14 karat gold. Like this one, this, of all of the dangle ear wires, this is the one that we sell probably 2 to 1 over everything else, right? It's just a simple basket setting with a little component above it. And we've got this in a couple of sizes. This one that you're looking at right now is an 8 by 10, and we've got a little bigger version of that. That's 10 by 12, and a couple of smaller ones. We've got a 6 by 8 millimeter version of that, and a 7 by 9 millimeter version of that. And I know in the back of your mind, if you're familiar with this finding, which I know a lot of people are because a lot of people buy it, in the sterling silver, we only have this in one size. I think we may have remedied that because, when we made the gold ones, we thought, hey, we should have different sizes in the silver ones. And that was kind of one of the biggest things that I felt were missing. We have a lot of really, really amazing, pieces, but they only work if you have a stone that's one particular size. Or it would be great if we had a couple of different things that, like the regular, basket, findings, or the earring post, where we can have these in, 4 millimeter, 5 millimeter, 6 millimeter, 7, 8, 10 millimeters. It's the same idea, just scaled up or down. That, why not do these kind of things, right? Now, we probably won't be doing gold versions in a couple of different sizes of these, but I do know that there were 10 or 12 of the most popular sterling settings that we're working on getting. Instead of just having one size of this, we'll probably have 3 or 4 sizes of this for things. So that's one thing that I felt that we were lacking. And the other thing that I wanted to show you today, but I can't find them. I think they're packed up because in a trunk for a show, is let me just turn this back around. We also have in sterling right now, but we also have gold ones coming down the road. But we have sterling versions of regular pendants, just the simple basket pendants. Not the one with the rabbit ear bail, but the ones with the fancy bail, the swingy bail, the soldered looped bail, right? In cushion cuts. And cushion cuts, real popular shape of stone. And it seemed for a long time to me that there was like a really gaping error, or not error, but a gaping hole in our inventory that why don't we have settings for cushion cut, rectangular cushion cut stones? We have square, our square settings are cushion cuts for square cushion cuts. But the rectangular ones are just straight edges, and sometimes you can make a cushion cut stone work in them. You can kind of tweak bulge the frames outwards a little bit, and thing the top, and or sometimes you can make them work in an oval setting if you can get in there. You're right. So the oval setting is like this, but if you just flatten the edges a little bit, you can kind of tweak it to make it work sometimes. But it's a pain, and it's never guaranteed that it's actually going to work beautifully because of the because you're changing the shape of the seat, so the pavilions don't always work, and cushion cuts normally have kind of weird pavilions where it's the angle of the pavilion off the girdle is sharper at the short ends and softer at the along the long edges. Does that make sense? I don't know why that makes sense to me. But tweaking an oval setting, you can make it work, but it doesn't always work. So better to have something that's designed for the shape of the stone, right? So after years of not having them, we have them now. What am I doing for time? I think this is going to be just about the shortest live stream we've ever done, just because I don't have those custom those cushion cuts to show you. But gold posts, earring posts, rounds, ovals. We'll probably have more shapes down the road in the future, but for now, these are all available. They're not on the website yet. We still have to take pictures and get all those up, and hopefully we'll get those up on the websites soon. But if you're local, you can come in and have a look, or call us and say, hey, look, I need a round, earring post in whatever millimeters, and I think I could send you pictures, quick cell phone pictures, but hopefully we'll get those up on the websites soon, on the Sylvia Findings website, on the DIY website, on Etsy, in our Etsy store. Yeah, hopefully soon. I mean, don't push, but push. Yeah, keep bugging me. The more you bug me, the more chances that I'll drop other things and get these things up there sooner than later. What else? I think that's it. Besides the fact, we're just, like I said, it's kind of a abridged version of the normal show. I just wanted to show you these gold settings that we just got in, because this is exciting, for me, right? I mean, sterling silver is great, but something about gold settings, it just adds credibility, right? You could take a $10 peridot and put it in a sterling setting, and it looks great, sort of thing. But if you take that same $10 peridot and you put it in a gold setting, all of a sudden it's like it increases the credibility of the stone. And obviously you can charge a whole lot more for it when you're reselling it, obviously, because I don't know, for some reason gold is gold. It's like a different animal altogether. And I've noticed that the gold market is also different than the sterling market. And as far as design work and we do lots of custom work, and we do lots of custom work in gold. And when we're doing custom work, the first thing we have to do is create a 3D model of the piece. And then once that 3D model is done, we can print 3D print in castable resin, that item, and then we'll just cast it in whatever. And when we're creating the 3D model, which we do first, we have a fee for that. And the fee for sterling silver models is only $25, whereas the fee for gold models is $35 Canadian dollars. And people, why? What's the difference? When you're designing for sterling silver, the metal itself is relatively inexpensive, so you can take little shortcuts that you wouldn't take with something. You can leave certain areas filled in, with metal that you don't need to worry about. Yeah, it's a little bit heavier, but no big deal. It's only, it won't significantly add to the cost of the material. Also, sterling is it's a little bit softer than, say, a 14 karat gold is. Certainly 14 karat gold, and definitely like a white gold. So structurally, sometimes you need to add a few more structural elements to keep things from flexing, from shifting, which is a problem. If you have a stone in something and it shifts, then the stone is no longer secure. Whereas with gold, you maybe don't need quite so many of those structural things, because the metal itself is a little bit, I want to say harder, but it's not harder. That's not technically correct. It's denser, so it's less malleable. Let's say that. So the gold is a little less malleable than sterling silver, so you don't need quite the same kind of structural thing. So it's just it takes a little bit more time to design items for gold than it takes to design them for silver, because you have to be conscientious of things. You can scoop away inside areas that, like say, have a ring on the inside of the gallery, areas that you might keep filled in with sterling, because it doesn't, add significantly to the weight, which ultimately won't add significantly to the cost of a sterling item. You would need to remove those areas, or keep those areas as trim as possible, for gold, because even a fraction of a gram adds significantly to the cost. So every little piece has to be scrutinized when you're designing for gold. So that's the difference between the gold and the silver designs. And obviously, you know, with gold, the quality control is like top notch, is like a fine tooth comb over every item. So, you know, you won't ever find a bad version of any of the things. No miscast prongs or any of that kind of stuff. You know, when we're casting hundreds and hundreds of basket settings, you know, yeah, we might miss one, you know. But it doesn't happen with the gold, because and the gold is they're all cast in a different part of the factory than the sterling silver is, because I don't know. Neither here nor there. Just that you know, a lot more care is taken over the gold items than the silver items, which is not to say that the silver items are not taken care of with love and devotion, because we love and are devoted to the silver items that we sell. But you know, we'll get more gold, we'll do more gold, and we are doing more gold, and this is just a little sampling of what we have in now, available now. But like I said, we'll be on the website soon. But if you're at a show that we're at, like if we're in Kelowna this weekend at that Okanagan show, anyway, I'm sure it's in the socials somewhere. Again, I don't know if it was linked, but hopefully maybe somebody's watching who can link the that show in the comments. But in the meantime, I am going to let you go. I'm going to go. Lots to do. I actually, personally, I won't be at that show in Okanagan this weekend, so I won't be setting stones there. But, you know, Marble and Nelson and Janet will be there, so they'll be excited to see you, and all of the gold stuff will be there to look at, so come on out. Come and take a look. See us. But in the meantime, I will see you not next week, because I'm going to be fishing next week on Wednesday. I'm taking a vacation, taking a week off. I will see you the next week, Wednesday. We'll think, and you will put the topic up in the socials at some point. But in the meantime, take care of yourself. Take care of the planet, take care of your mental health, and I will see you next time. All right. Bye. I can press